All right, let's talk big pharma. Let me just preface this. I'm just some dude on Camzyos. I'm not big into stocks or whatever. I have my MBA, so I know a little bit about business and how this thing works. So I guess I'll start by saying Camzyos Mavacamten was the first drug of its kind, first in class. And no matter what line of business you're in, being the first one to a market has advantages. The whole pie is yours, essentially. But there's some learning to do. And if you're second to market, you notice the mistakes, or not necessarily mistakes, but things that can be improved when you're going to launch your product. And I think the big thing with between Aficamten and Mavacamten, so Mavacamten, Camzyos, Aficamten obviously doesn't have a market name yet, but efficacy is obviously the one thing, but the REMS program. Now, the REMS program for me, I've been very blessed, thank you, Lord, has not been a big financial problem or a time problem, really. I mean, I have a clinic 5 minutes on the road. I can go get an echo. It takes a half hour and I'm done. But for some people, it is a big problem, and both financially and with time. So if Aficamten is released, it'll probably be in the middle of 2026. The REMS program might not be as stringent because Aficamten's half-life is going to be less. I don't know what the exact numbers are. So it won't stay in your system as long, which is good because it means they can titrate it more, and it probably won't have as a pronounced effect negatively. Maybe that means it won't be as effective positively, but I don't think there's a 1-1 ratio between Aficamten and Mavacamten. I maxed out on 15 milligrams because I have a heavy chain mutation. So that's the most I can take because that's the amount I've had to take to have a steady improvement. I would love to take more. I don't know if Bristol Myers Squibb's gonna look into that, but Myocardia, who I think is releasing Aficamten, you're going to take, I think 20 milligrams was the highest dose in the study I was reading about. Now I hate to the viewers, you're going to have to just look into it yourself, but you can go on Twitter and there's some data on there that's accessible for most people. I'm sure you could really dig into it if you wanted to. A lot of the stuff you'll see on Twitter, though, if you Google if you search Aficamten or Mavacamten or Camzyos on Twitter, you'll see a lot of financial information, which has been illuminating to see how much money is involved with these drugs. If it's your first foray into big pharma, you're going to be shocked. So that's the primary consideration you'll see is people, that Camzyos wasn't a blockbuster or whatever like that. But I think Aficamten probably financially is going to perform better. But for the patient, hopefully the REMS program is less stringent. Again, not a problem for me, but it is a big problem for some people. And I'm curious to see, how effective it is compared to Camzyos. I've read the numbers a little bit. I can't interpret it well because it's just not my forte. But it looks promising. I am just hoping that over the long run, any of these small myosin inhibitors will continue to improve your heart structure. I actually just pulled up so if you Google Aficamten news, the first thing that pops up is from Cytokinetics, September 1st. Investors and media, of course, it's geared towards investors and not patients, which is kind of dumb. But Cytokinetics presents new data related to safety and long-term use of Aficamten at the European Society of Cardiology Congress 2024. It's really awesome data. Nobody dropped out of the study because of ejection fraction. No deaths. No strokes. AFib is actually better among Aficamten and placebo. What else is in here? There's a bunch of stuff in here. And I hate to refer to a biosimilar drug or a similar drug as a competitor. When you're talking about competition, it's like that's for financial and investor stuff. For me as a patient, it's another option. It's more hope. So I hate referring to things as competition. But yeah, go and look into that, and then pull up the Camzyos data, and they can compare them side by side, and we can talk about it. So yeah, I encourage you to maybe don't talk to your doctor about this stuff, because they will know as much or as little as you do, usually, because we're all reading the same reports. They get invited to certain things, but it's enriching to do your own research anyways in these medicines to see what's kind of coming down the pipe. Yeah, but things to keep an eye on: Camzyos, obviously Mavacamten, and then Aficamten. Lots of interesting research and news happening with both of those things being released internationally. The United States was fortunate to be among the first, if not the first country that gets to have these small myosin inhibitors. All right, but again, feel free to reach out. I've had some really good conversations with a couple of marketing research studies I was in. I'm sure one of them was Bristol Myers Squibb. Maybe they were cytokinetics people. I don't know. And then with that Chinese company that's involved. Well, there's all these companies involved, but one of the Chinese companies I had a really fun conversation with. And then obviously people email me and Facebook me all the time. So I always appreciate those discussions. But all right, see you soon.